I suppose the first question is the toughest one. What do you think it's going to take to get the team back on track after a difficult run of form here?
Yeah, I mean, obviously it's a huge challenge, and I think maybe it's a blessing in disguise. The players have gone, and everybody's looks like they got a chance to play this weekend. So I think that's added a little bit of bite to the practice. We have 18 here, and 18 can play at the weekend. So I think everybody thinks they've got a chance of getting in the lineup. So we've used that carrot for everybody, and hopefully everybody that's away comes back healthy, and everybody here has a great week. And there's calm after the storm, but we got it's a huge challenge obviously ahead of us, and we'll put ourselves in a major hole. But I'm confident we'll get out at some point, start playing at some point. The ball start going in the net, and we have to improve in a lot of areas, and we've spent the week trying to improve, and that's what we're going to do.
How does the dynamic change knowing that so many players are out, and as you say, everybody has an opportunity to play some real meaningful minutes here?
Yeah, I mean the dynamic definitely changes. We were training yesterday, they were kicking lumps out of each other because I think that they know that the starting 11's obviously going to be changed by 4 or 5 personnel, which is a lot, half a lineup, and that the 16 is going to be changed, or the 15 or the 14 that go into the game is going to be changed. So I think everybody's like gung-ho to get in the lineup, and they see a great opportunity. Obviously our practice players now come into the squad, so people like Hannah Terry have got an opportunity to play, Cruz has got a chance to play, and they're going to try and grab it. I think everybody, especially the fact that we're home, wants to play in the games.
You've obviously got Michelle Betos, who's going to be taking over from Nadine with the red card. You knew her well, and you know that she can play. What does she bring to the team?
Well, she's been back up with Hope in Seattle. She's come in here, and she's been back up with Nadine. And I wanted somebody that could push Nadine. I think she's the one that could push Nadine. And let's be fair, it was a tough position to go in with. She didn't touch a ball before she faces a penalty from Carly Lloyd. All of a sudden, she's led her first goal of the season, and she's been in the game 1 second. And then obviously a few more goals went in after that. So the good thing about Michelle, she's got a lot of confidence in herself. She's improved since she's been here. There's no question. I think Nadine's had a good reflection on her. And Reece, the goalie coach, is confident with her. I've had her for 10 years, so I know what she's capable of. And she talks really well, organises really well. From that perspective, we're going to need that as the back forward. We're all over the place at the weekend. So hopefully we get somebody who can grab a grip of them and organise them a little bit better. Obviously we're going into game. Number one priority for us this weekend, honestly, is a clean sheet. We have to get a clean sheet. We've had 9 goals in 2. So the number one since yesterday morning we're talking about a clean sheet. So that's the number one priority for us.
I read somewhere that you guys are asking for the red card to be reviewed. Did anything actually come out of that with NWSL rules?
No, there's no review. We found out there's no review, so even if it's completely wrong, which it was a poor decision by the ref, and there was coverage. Not only did Nadine not touch her, but there was coverage behind. Emily's clearly in the limelight, which the linesman on the other side should have seen. He was the one I think that gave the red card in the end. He signalled to her to give the red card. It was a poor decision. Probably changed the game. I mean, we weren't playing particularly well, but 1-0, even 2-0 with 11 players on the field. Penalty kick. Maybe Nadine saved it. Maybe she doesn't, but. It's a lot better than 2-0, 10 players, and everyone's arguing with the officials. I mean, I think if you ask Kerr who it happened to, she'll tell you what exactly happened. But it was, it wasn't a penalty. But it's a decision that, when things aren't going well for you, they're usually the things that go against you. So when they go for you, you just take them and you keep moving forward. But we could do a bit of that look, I think, at the other end of the field.
Will she be able to, I know she's leaving with the German national team, and I'm not sure when, if she's missing this weekend, but will she be able to serve the suspension when she's gone?
No, it's another NWSL rule. They have, she's going to leave tomorrow, she'll be gone tomorrow, and this doesn't count. So she'll have to miss the next week's game, which, again, if it was a red card legitimately and everything, I can see, but the fact that it's not, the fact the referee made a mistake, I think just like we ask the players to take responsibility, just like as coaches we take responsibility, I think refs need to take responsibility, and unfortunately they haven't. So we're in a situation where we lost our goalie for 2 games, and we really should be able to play the next game as far as I'm concerned. But another rule.
Do you think when you talk about the importance of a clean sheet, do you think the defensive maybe not as good form is something that's been a recent occurrence or something that's been a problem throughout the season?
No, I think it's been great through the season. I mean, you've seen all our games, Early in the season we were, doing really well in the back. I don't know. I mean, you can see a lack of confidence in there. And, the problem is when you're young and things don't go your way, things can collapse real quick. And I think that's really what's happened. I think mentally they're a little bit frazzled in the back, and I think Rachel obviously would have been here, would have been a huge lift for us organisationally in the back, and I think just having Rachel and knowing that Rachel Bueller's in the middle of the back, and the fact that obviously she got called in last minute is obviously, the back line's going to be similar to what last week, and they got to get over the nerves and they got to settle in, and we're going to try and work with them next 3-4 days and try and get them ready mentally more than physically, because physically they're all capable of doing it, but mentally is, I think, probably what we need to work on with them. And I'm a great believer in Nikki Marshall, great believer in Emily Menges, and I think those two are the critical pieces for us to get a grip of getting a clean sheet. And I think if they all know, all the team have been on the same wavelength. We've talked about keeping a clean sheet all week, so 3-4 more days of doing it, I think they'll be sick of hearing it, and hopefully we'll go out and do that.
You mentioned I guess, mentally, and how do you keep morale high when you've given up these last 2 games?
Because I think I'm one of those guys. I'm the ever optimist. I get over it quick, and the next day of practice, I got straight back into them and got them going again. And just as a long season ahead of us, nothing's been decided on June 7th. I mean, trust me, sometimes inside you might not be feeling that, but it's important that they don't see that side, and it's important they see the positive side. And the practice was great yesterday, and I got after them again today, and I think it's been really good again. I mean, last week's practice was the best practice probably I've had at the pro level. 10 years at the women's side. I thought we couldn't be in a better position going into the game. So that was a mystery to us, but we got to find out why. And maybe it's home, maybe it's the crowd we can't handle. But I'm a big believer in the group. The group have shown me that they can get it done, and I'm hoping that we come together. It's a great week to come together, obviously with all the stars out, and there's a good opportunity for players to step in, like Huff, like Rebecca Morris, who've been sitting on the sideline. And Rebecca had a great start to the season. We made a change for it, and we brought Qatar in at the time. I don't think we've lost with Rebecca Morris in the lineup, so she keeps reminding me of that. No, I'm just kidding, she doesn't. But we'll have a few changes in the lineup. I think it'd be positive for everybody. Again, everyone gets a chance to show me again that they can play. We played a bunch of different formations. We need to settle into a formation. Just when you want to settle in, you're back to square one again and having to play. We only have 2 forwards on the roster that are here, which is Acevedo and Jess. So it's not easy, but we're doing all right.
Do you think that even though Vero and Catley have just showed up as being the only 2 national team players still here, are they going to have to provide some sort of leadership role?
Yeah, I mean, obviously Vero is critical for the piece, and I think maybe it was a bit early for her at the weekend, and even though she probably covered the most miles in the game, she probably had the most passes for us in the game. That wasn't Vero. I think Vero needs to know what we're doing, needs to settle into what we're doing, and she'll be fine. And again, I'm a great believer in Vero. And Steph's young, and I put her in the Lions' Den, and I think she was. I think it was a bit too much for her, so fast coming off the plane. But you think you played internationally, but they don't play in front of these crowds like this every week. And, she was home debut. She's only been with us 4 or 5 days of training. So again, you take responsibility as the coach. I thought she could do it, and I still believe she's a brilliant left back. And I think she'll get better as the week goes on this week. And again, it's a repeat. We're playing in Washington, another big crowd, and hopefully she'll settle in and play, because we need her this weekend. There's no question. And Vera is probably the most critical piece of the jigsaw puzzle this week.
What kind of feel do you have for the lineup you're going to put out?
I'm pretty close already, I think, which is, I wouldn't say normal for us. We normally wait till Thursday night into Friday, and we're playing on Sunday, but I'm pretty well got the lineup in my mind, what we want, and what we're going to play. And obviously they're playing today, so we'll get a look at them today, and then we'll make the final decision. But I think we're pretty close. And there's a lot of players been banging on the door for a while, and obviously Angie Kerr's had a good season. Rebecca Morris, Huff's been great. I mean, Huff stuck with it and dug down. She got herself really fit now. She wasn't fit when we got her, so I mean, she's definitely in the running for a spot. And it's just a matter of getting some more out of Sinead, and getting more out of Vero, getting more out of Jess, and getting some. When we go to the bench on Saturday, those players are going to be probably making their debuts for the club, a couple of them, and they're going to have to come in and do a job for us. And I'm ever hopeful that they will get that job done.
You mentioned some of the amateur players. Do you know who's kind of going to get called up for this game in terms of the amateurs?
Yeah, we've called them up. Hannah Terry's come up, Cruiser, Michelle Cruz from UP's come up, and Carly Davis, who's a Texan, who was around last year too. So we brought all 3 up, and goalie Chris Lewis, who played last year, she'll come up and back up Michelle. She's had experience of playing 1 or 2 games with them, and they're with us every day, so they're comfortable in the surroundings. They're probably more comfortable than Steph and Vero, to be honest with you, and they deserve a shot. They've been great, and Hannah's a more of an attacking player, Cruz is a more defensive player, and Carly's a fullback. So we've got some aid there, and But it's, Acevedo's got a chance to play this weekend, and she's been working hard in practice. I'm hoping she can, she hasn't really played so far this year. Hopefully she'll get some time this weekend and get a goal for us. We need a goal. Some goals, lots of goals, any goals.
Right.
But we're all positive, I've got to be honest with you. We're still positive about everything. Sorry, Katie. We're still, I talk too much, I know. That's what the players say too. But I really believe in the group. I can't tell how much I believe in the group. I took full responsibility. I told the players Sunday morning, I'll take full responsibility. Let's get back on the train again and just keep moving forward. And everybody did what they had to do Sunday, and we lost a few players, and the locker room's so tight. I liked all the players being around, but it'll be a good week. Let's hope we get a result. Thanks, guys.